Alright, hello everybody, and welcome. Windows, open some windows. Hi. Alright, anyway, here we are. Here now. Alright, so I'm gonna do one more practice run before the marathon tonight. Just want to practice my commentary a little bit more. I'm gonna rest my voice, so let me actually go grab a water. A good idea to hydrate before I start. Alright. So my plan is to do my commentary sort of like I would do it in the run. Feel free to ask questions if you got any. That'll be part of the run too, is responding to that chat. So yeah, let's get into it. Hello everybody, I'm Zemoo, and today I'm going to be doing a Holocure Save the Fans run. So for those of you who don't know, Holocure is a Vampire Survivor Clone. If you're familiar with that game, you're gonna be familiar with this. It is a Hololive fan game. It is made by a dev by the name of KU, or maybe that's their screen name, I don't know. But it is not official. It is like a very cool, it's completely free too, very cool fan game. Just like with Vampire Survivor, there is meta progression, so there's there's things you earn between runs that help you on future runs. I'm going to show off sort of where my file is at. This is the fandoms for every character. If you play with them, you get, you unlock experience, and that makes them start off a little stronger. Namely, the run I'm going to be doing today is and I have her at max EXP, so we're going to start off with all skills and some extra stats. Other than that, there is the shop. You can get more characters here. The shop is all in-game currency. You can't spend any real money on this game, but you unlock some abilities and different functionalities in the shop, and some free stats, and the others is like the debuffs, though sometimes they can be used as buffs, but I'm gonna have all these debuffs off and all the good stats on. You might think, and I guess I should show up, there's the armory where this is all the weapons that you've unlocked. I have all of them, and you can turn weapons on and off if you want to see them. You just don't want to see them at all, or certain items. I'm going to leave them all on just to make it more wild, more interesting. If I was going for like a world record or something, I could shut off all weapons and items I don't want and always get the same build, or more likely to get the same build. But that's less fun. But you might be thinking, oh, I have extra stats, extra unlocks, I'm playing on New Game Plus, isn't that cheating? Not really. The game is sort of designed that it's basically impossible to keep up if you if you don't have all the stuff unlocked. It's sort of to ease you into the game with, you know, start on early stages and eventually earn your way to the harder ones. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to show off sort of settings and where my file's at. You might notice there's a bunch of characters, 47 in total so far. The dev has committed that they want to do up to 81, I believe, and you might notice a flash on some of the characters. All the talents that have graduated earn a flashing light. So they don't get like cut out of the game or anything. And I'm pretty sure characters have been added after they've already graduated, like Coco. So if your Oshi is graduated and it's not in the game, there's still a chance. There's still a chance it gets added in the next update. We're in version 07, so the game gets updated pretty often. So we are going to be doing a Gura run. You can choose different outfits for the characters. I'm going to stick with Gura's main outfit because that's my favorite. We're doing endless mode. So this is the hardest stage, stage 4 hard. We're not doing that. We're going one lower, just a little bit more safe. And there's a bunch of items you can get. Support item will heal you, or you can dash or use a net. I'm just going to use the projectile shield. I'm going to use the heal. Different food. I'm going to use the one that makes Holu appear this time, just because I want to practice with Holu. And the prism just prevents some damage and has HP, so it just like gets you through the early game. Just a little more safety. Yeah, with that I've talked a bunch and haven't started the game, so let's start the game now. Alright, so that I picked up a triangle, it's sort of the Hololive symbol. That will let me level up. I'm going to eliminate my main weapon, and that will come into play later, but so what I'm looking for at the level up is a bunch items that are sort of time sensitive. So like Holu will make more enemies appear and make them stronger. So I want to take that as early as possible because more enemies is hard now, but it will be way harder later. But if I get more enemies to appear, I can defeat them and get EXP. All these triangles that the enemies drop are EXP. The more EXP I get... Ooh, Raven Feather is also really good. Early. The more EXP I get, the higher my level will get, and the stronger I am, etc. So like you can handle the amount of enemies Holu brings, but much easier if you get it early. Ooh, credit card. Really want that. So I'm gonna take it. So the Raven Feather means every 30 seconds I survive, I get an extra 6% attack, and it will revive me once. I'm going to take the bounce ball. It's not really any of the experience items that I want early, but it's enchanted. I'll explain that when we see anvils, and it's part of one of the builds I want. And cutting board is also part of that build. Let's just grab it. So a couple different characters get a buff for cutting board. Gura is one of those characters. I'll leave it to your imagination as to why. And a different kind of character gets a buff for the bouncy ball. Gura does not get that buff. But it's important to have both of those if for a certain part of the game. I'm going to actually eliminate cutting board, and that will hopefully be explained later. I'm really looking for blacksmith skill would be the best one. Study glasses also good. Those are some good items. So all the weapons and items in this game are different references to Hololive. I'm kind of going a bit too all in on this strat. We got a really good start, so I think it's worth it. I probably should have taken haste up. Also, this box. So the box will give you a random item. It's sort of like a level up, but you don't get to choose which one you get, but you can choose to drop it. So sometimes you like just don't want the weapon or item that it gives you. And there's a 5% chance that you will get a super item. Like some of these items have a separate version that you can't get by leveling up. You can only get it from the box, and it just is better. If an item has a drawback, it just won't have that drawback, and it will do more. Those are not consistent enough to always get them, but we're kind of rolling with what we get. These, I could use. Oh, I guess reverse. I'm seeing a lot of repeats. Each item you can get has a different max level. So I'm maxed out on Holu, and Raven Feather Start only has 1 level, so there's an anvil. So credit card makes more anvils appear, so I'm hoping to see a lot of anvils. So what anvils do, I guess I can show it now, is you can take any item or weapon you have and upgrade it so it levels it up without needing to use a level up on it. And see how this has blue text? That's an enchantment. I can add an enchant to each of my items or weapons. You can only do that with an anvil, or you can get it from the shop enchanted, but that's RNG. Keep seeing same items. I saw Osakoko, didn't I? I should have taken that, but this is fine. This is fine. Researcher's Coat is probably just going to have to be good enough. Researcher's Coat also gives me EXP. Not as much as Study Glasses, but I have all the items on, so it's sort of random which ones I get. That cheeseburger I just picked up gave me 20 HP back. That's really good. You really want to find food just to heal you a little bit, especially early on when you do all these like items that raise your level or help you raise your level in different ways. You do tend to fall behind a little bit in the early game. Typically it's worth the risk because if your run dies in 5 minutes or whatever, you just reset. In a marathon, it might be a little tough. So I'm just gonna try to play a little safe and make sure I don't die. I want to enchant my weapons now. These red guys, I'm gonna try to continue. This is really bad. I should have used my support item. I shouldn't take Holly with the marathon. This can happen. Would have been nice if I could get one of those stamps. That stamp's bad, so I didn't take it. Fan Beam is a good weapon, but not one I want to take early. Probably shouldn't have enchanted the Fan Beam. I'm gonna be super weak because I used my revive. Here's the fucking Study Glasses. Is it worth just resetting? Probably not. Like, I'm gonna have to roll with it. If I can clear with this, then that'll make me feel a little bit better about the marathon. Problem is, like, more than 10 minutes in. I'm not even 10 minutes into the run. I don't know. could have worked. Okay, Gorilla Paw is item we really want. That's going to increase our max, our total damage, our basic damage, but reduce our reduce our crit percent. Just gonna do more damage on general, but have less super high rolls or whatever. I don't want it right now. Crowbar is perfect. That's a knockback stamp. So stamps affect your main weapon only, unless they say otherwise. There's a couple that affect them all. But that'll knock enemies away from us, and that's really good because a bunch of enemies are going to chase us, and they're not trying to be kind to us. They're trying to hurt us, so we're trying to get rid of them. Okay, there's Blacksmith's Gear. I got all the items I want except study glasses. I did get it, but just a little late. I should have a good late game, but I don't really have this Raven Feather. It's gonna really affect my survivability. I'm gonna have to roll with it. Max HP up. Oh, you might notice that every once in a while that Shark Wave comes up and I turn red. This gauge on the side is my special meter. It goes up over time, and certain other things in the game could make it go up faster. Every character has a unique special ability. And, so I think you can do it. What did I do? Now that I have Blacksmith skill, I can use each anvil that comes after the Blacksmith skill twice. So the credit card gives me more anvils. The Blacksmith skill lets me use them twice. So that's gonna really increase our ability to level up our weapons. It might seem weird that I'm eliminating my weapons so I can't get them in the menu, but we're at the point now where we're 5 minutes in and we're already able to select stats from the menu. So now I can't do that. See how I use that anvil and it's still here? Fuck. Oh. Alright, let's try this again. So first off, we got a good item early, Raven Feather. So as time goes on, every 30 seconds we're going to get extra 6% attack for that. There's a couple items I want early. Like, that Raven Feather does a lot more for me if I get it now than if I get it 10 minutes in. So there's a couple time sensitive. I'm going to eliminate my main weapon. Hopefully that comes into play. A bunch of time sensitive items and weapons. Okay, here's Holu. This is one I want to take early, if at all. Holu makes more enemies appear. Glow stick. Really? I'm gonna try glow stick. Big haste for if I take glow stick, I don't want bounce ball. So yeah, Holu makes more fans spawn. The lore of this game is the fans are attacking you and we have to heal them by defeating them. And we make them stronger. So it might seem counterproductive to take a thing that's like makes the enemy stronger. It might seem like a debuff, but it's going to be important. So the more enemies that spawn, like the enemies are what's dropping. The enemies are what's dropping these triangles, this EXP. The more enemies that spawn, the more EXP I get. So it'll help me, you know, there will be more enemies, but I'm just gonna... It's too early for PUBG. Yeah, the more EXP, the more levels I get, the more I can deal with the enemies. So it's sort of like a dynamic difficulty thing where it lets you deal with more enemies. And you know, if you want a high score, you kind of have to take Hololive. You just more enemies you can kill, the more points you get. It's kind of a totally different run. It is little not marathon safe, but I've been practicing a bunch with it, and assuming nothing goes too horribly bad, should be fine. And typically, when you die with Hollow, you die super early, and equipping is disenchanted and also very important. Most of the time in the run is on menuing and like explaining things. So once I'm through that, I can kind of speed run through. Like the farthest I'll get is like 40 minutes. That's I don't think I've ever gotten to 40 minutes before. So most of the time is me, you know, explaining what I'm taking in these menus. Why? So if I have to reset 5 minutes in, it'll be a much faster run the second time. That wave there, that's my special. As this meter fills up, I will unlock. When it fills up, I'll get my special. I'll turn into Red Gura, and it'll increase my speed and attack damage. Every character has their own unique special. Every character in this game, all 47, is very different and plays very different. So if you like a certain kind of gameplay or don't like a certain kind of gameplay, you can always just shop around for different characters and find one you like. Dev's always adding characters to the game, so if your Oshi's not in yet, just have faith, they'll probably be there eventually. Like I said, the dev wants to go up to 81 characters. We're approaching the 3-minute mark, so I think it's like 3:30. There's lava bucket, that's really good. But triple box. So I'm not really doing blacksmith skill stuff, so I can probably switch to the pillow fort build. Haven't seen any of the items I need. I'm gonna enchant this. Lava buckets. So each item can only be enchanted once. See this blue text? Some items come enchanted, like it's random whether you get it enchanted or not in the menu. You can always choose to not take an item till it's enchanted, but those anvils that pop up will let you enchant items that aren't. And if an item's already enchanted and you try to enchant it again, it will just change the enchantment. So if you don't like size on your whammy water, you can find a different way to enchant it, but I typically don't mess around too much. It doesn't. Anvils are a limited resource. I don't want to waste them, you know? Alright, I'm actually going to eliminate this whammy water. That might come into play later. I mean, it will, just maybe not as much as I'd like it to. Here's the 3:15 mark, and here's the bats. So there's a bunch of like stage events. I'm gonna take the last glow stick. A bunch of stage like events that happen regularly. Every 2 minutes, a boss will show up. And you just have to know when. I mean, you can react to them, but sometimes it's good to know, like, oh, a bunch of bats are going to show up. I need to be ready because this is one of the tougher parts. Like, this is there's a part where I could die, it's one of these, typically. And also these enemies in the stage events are usually tougher and typically go away. So sometimes there's like this little tension of I want to kill these enemies that are going away because they won't drop EXP if they don't die before they go away. But I could also waste a bunch of shots on the enemies that are just going away anyway, and I could just die to the enemies that are left that I could have killed. Alright, so I feel like we're doing the pillow fort build, so I'm just going to start taking those items. So just bandage will prevent some damage to us, give us some extra HP, and heal us. So every 10 damage we take will heal 9 back or something. And that's going to really play into Gura's strengths. Spider cooking. I'm gonna eliminate this lava bucket. It's a little weird, but so you can only get items. So now that all my weapons are filled, the only weapons I'll get in the menu are weapons I have, and if I eliminate a weapon, it can't show it to me again in this menu. So what that's going to do is open up more slots for other weapons or items. I think my last spider cooking. So all the weapons and items are beamed off of references. So spider cookings from that time. Hachima cooked the spider. Searcher's coat, a little late, probably past that point. Elite lava bucket is Miko like burned her house down with a lava bucket in Minecraft twice. Whammy water is Whammy is a drunk. Whammy's her like nickname. Do I want to take study glasses? A little late, but I think it's good enough. The study glasses is gonna not help me now, but it's gonna give me more EXP every time I get EXP. Like, I could end the run at like 100, level 100, or I could end it at level 140, depending on, you know, when and how early I get study glasses. I should probably put holds on study glasses so I see it more. These are stamps. They affect your main weapon typically. This one just flips me upside down and does nothing else. In an old version, it made you shoot backwards, but I guess people found that annoying. I kind of don't like being upside down. I feel the blood rushing to my head, so I'm just gonna swap this out. You can use stamps to strengthen other stamps. I don't really like this stamp a ton. I'm not going to do that. Because another stamp that I do like might show up, and then I'll be able to use it there. The study glasses. Yeah, one of the ways that you can get ahead is just like play kind of greedy early, take a bunch of things that level you up later. Like Hololive, study glasses. Ooh, I want Picky Picky Pimon. I'm gonna put a hold in that. So this hold means the next time this menu pops up, the held item will always show up. So if there's two items I want, I can just, you know, get them both. I don't have to like hope to get lucky. And I really want the study glasses early because it's just gonna, you know, add another level to my level count. So yeah, the Picky Picky Pimon gives you more max HP in every point of HP you have. You increases your main and special attacks. Most of Gura's strength comes from her special attacks. I don't know if I explained the skills yet. So see these whirlpools that show up? Those are part of Gura's kit, Gura's skills. enemies get sucked into them and they take more damage when they're in them, and it does a little bit of passive damage, I believe. Let me actually check that. Skills. Every 10 seconds. Yeah, deals every half second. Short height means 35% chance I get hit. I get every time I get hit, there's a 35% chance to just dodge it and become fast and invulnerable for half a second. And this has no cooldown, so I could just get free dodge forever. Not likely, but it could happen. And the bite marks, every time I attack, I can put a bite mark on it, which will deal more damage and has the chance to heal when the enemy is defeated. So Gura has, a lot of ways to stay alive and heal. So one of the things, and like her skills, the whirlpools, the shark bites, dealing extra damage. You don't have to be particularly strong. You'll just naturally deal a lot of damage, and it scales pretty well into the late game. So our ideal build with Gura, this isn't the ideal build. The ideal build has a lot more levels, but this is a pretty good backup. We call it the Pillow Fort build. We're just gonna try to stay alive, and the more tanky we are, the more we can use our healing and dodge. The blue guy slows you down, and the red guy makes more damage. So we really want to kill a little bit more attack. We really want to kill those. So you might notice that I'm getting stats now in the level up menus. That's because when all your weapons and items are maxed out, it just gives you stats. So most of my weapons I've eliminated, so it can't give me them in this menu, and that's going to let me get stats way sooner than otherwise possible. Normally I have to put 7 levels into each of these weapons, and we wouldn't start getting stats till at least 15 minutes in, depending on when we got our study glasses. But now we're just getting our stats way sooner, and we're going to try to use anvils to level up our weapons. Also, the boxes that the enemies drop can level up your weapons. So I have one weapon that's not eliminated, the bomb, so I can grab it here. Every time a box shows up, it's basically only going to be able to give me the bomb or a super item. I can still get a super item because you can upgrade your regular item. You can get super study glasses even though you have study glasses. Obviously you'd like to just open the first box and get super study glasses right from the go, because perfect. This is a marathon, we can't just reset till we get perfect RNG. Alright. Take this last bomb just so it stops bugging me about it, and I'll actually get 2 choices for stats. That might actually be better. Some of these stamps, like the upside down one, are bad. I really like the knockback stamps. I'm going to put a bunch of points into it. That's going to make my main weapon knock back the enemies. Give me a little breathing room. So like I said, we do want to kill the enemies, but we also want to just keep them away from us so we can use that time to heal. So let them get close, take a hit, and then give us a little space. These cheeseburgers on the ground, the Uber Sheep item I got makes more cheeseburgers spawn, that's why there's a lot of them. They heal 20 HP, I believe, a piece. Part of Gura's healing is use a lot of cheeseburgers. And when we get to the collab part of the game, I will need Uber Sheep for the collab that I'm doing. The main strat with Gura is to get enemies into the whirlpools and kill them there, because they take more damage. Here's the mid-boss, the 10 minutes in. Shubengelion and Hachama Spider. So in the normal versions of this level, Shubengelion is the mid-boss and Hachama is the final boss, but in the hard stage you get them both. So you might have noticed that the song playing is Myth or Treat, but all the enemies thus far have been JP Gen 0 fans and like themed off that. Put that in your notebook because it's gonna come up a little later. Maybe a little spoiler. I'm just gonna try to avoid these bosses. The bullets that the spider shoots can damage you. Easy way to die is to just face tank a bunch of bullets. So we're just trying to stay away from her. So it's easier to dodge. And we'll kill them one at a time. There we go, there's one. I'm gonna take haste up. You typically want speed with Gura, but there's... I do like to take a little bit of damage early because you do need to kill the enemies. It's a crit for that reason. I actually don't want this box yet, so I'm gonna focus on attack early, and then when I hit critical mass, I feel like I can switch to speed. Because our end game's gonna rely on us having like 1,000 speed. The more enemies, like there is a cap to the enemies on the screen, so if you don't have enough strength to kill them, you kind of just wind up at a point where you're not able to level up because you can't kill all the enemies, and that means more enemies can't spawn. And there's also a limit to the amount of EXP on the screen, so I do have to make sure I'm collecting it before it despawns, or just won't spawn a new one. I'm not getting enough anvils. I might not be able to use my eliminate strat on the next couple weapons, but I think this is fine. So by leaving the boxes around, when I get another weapon, so when I collab a weapon, or 2 weapons rather, I don't have blacksmith skill. So yeah, when I get 2 weapons to level 7, if they're the 2 right weapons, I can make a collab of them. We need to enchant that bomb, I need to remember that. When I combine 2 in a collab, it'll free up a weapon slot, because the new weapon only takes 1 weapon slot. So if I leave a bunch of boxes around, the only thing it can give me is that new weapon that I unlock, and that is going to be really crucial. Because I can get, once I take a new weapon, it'll start giving me that weapon in my level up as an option, and I don't want to waste level ups on it. I want stats. So if I grab the boxes, it will immediately give me that weapon because it's the only thing it can give me, and if I just leave 6 boxes around before I make the collab, I can just immediately take those 6 boxes to level up my new weapon, and it won't affect my my strat of trying to get stats early. Also, if I take a box now and it can't give me a weapon or item, it'll only give me money, and money's cool, money's good, but we'll gain more money by surviving 2 more minutes, which, I mean, any amount of time at the end will end up being more money. So it's kind of like a consolation prize if you get a box late. Alright, so here's anvil to get our lava bucket to level 7. How many boxes are there? That glowing EXP collects all that all the XP on the screen. The ball stamp makes our weapons bigger, and the flower stamp weakens enemies that we hit. That was dangerous. I went right between those two boxes. I'm just trying to... It's a little risky, but I'm trying to get more boxes on the screen before I take this gold anvil to collab my weapon. Like I said, I can get 6 boxes, or like an anvil and 5 boxes. I can sort of get a free thing. I don't know. Words are hard. I'm a little weak in the damage race right now. Might be worth it to just take this collab. There's a couple items that give you more anvils, and I didn't get any of them, so it's 4 boxes. That might be enough. Let's lure all these enemies away. So one of the stats, crit, you can get more than 100 crit, but it doesn't do anything at that point. It's just guaranteed crit. So you kind of I like to put crit last. Let's speed up, grab this. So I'm going to combine these. Get elite cooking. Now the next time I level up, I can get a new weapon. There's another gold anvil, which means I have the super collab. So if I combine, so there's I think 5 different collabs that you can turn into super collabs. There's a different item for each. So if I combine elite cooking with uber sheep, I get Jingi Sukan. Uber sheep's a Watame reference. I don't know exactly what Jingi Sukan is. These items all suck. Paw. Okay, I do need cutting boards, so I guess I'll take that. So grab these boxes, and this will just give me a bunch of cutting boards really fast. It says on the cutting board that some characters get a bonus for it. Gura is one of those characters. Body pillow is not good for Gura, because when your body pillow's active, I'm gonna get rid of limiter though. Your body pillow's active, Gura's dodge skill can't activate. You'd think it'd be good, but it ends up not being good. Any of these. I'm gonna take a cutting board. Really, I have an open item slot and it gave me 2 coins. If you get a triple box and you only have one thing, it will give you coins for the others, but you could theoretically get like an item and a weapon if you have both of those as options. Family water. I'm gonna try to get a little less fancy. Because we sort of owe 5 anvils to this whammy water. Like, we're not gonna get this collab till we get 5 anvils, so kind of probably a good idea to just not eliminate too many of our weapons that we actually want. I didn't. Okay, so see how this is only enchanted once? My other weapons, if you have 2 things that are enchanted and you collab them, it will make the collabed item have 2 enchants. I can no longer do that with the flattening board. So that's a bummer. I want both of these, but I can't get to potato till... That's a... wanted, but it is one of the ones I wanted, so I guess I'll take it. It wasn't exactly the one. Plushie means when we take damage, we'll go into this pink health bar. We don't take the damage right away, so I can get this health bar fully pink and I won't die, but eventually the damage will affect us and turn red, and then we'll die. So I call it being like a plushie zombie, is when you're just full pink, and that means you have to heal or you will die. But like I said, Gura has passive healing. We've got a bunch of... the Jinki-Suki-Kan weapon I got also gives us passive healing. So we're just like healing all the time. So the whole strat is to just basically double our life bar by getting it to the point where we can just go to plushie but dead and just run away and then heal it back. So it adds just a ton to your... Ooh. The bomb stamp's going to add an explosion to our attack and has a chance of chaining. It's a pretty strong stamp. Adds a little bit of RNG to the run, but in a good way. There's definitely other stamps I would prefer to it, but we haven't seen those yet. It's random which stamps appear and when. Each enemy has a small chance to drop a stamp. Another benefit of Holu making more enemies spawn is more stamps. Don't have to get as lucky for stamp RNG because you just have more likely to see all of them. So see how before we were like struggling to kill the enemies and now we're like killing them all and I'm not even like moving around really to get to them. Sort of turn the corner, as they say. The enemies will get harder and exponentially harder, so I'm not safe yet, but feeling pretty good about this run now. So we don't really have all the weapons we want. That is part of the strat, so it's fine. The anvils will keep appearing, and it's probably better to use the anvils for these level ups. Yeah, each weapon, in addition to this. I need that. Yes, I can do this. Also, when each weapon has a different type, so like see this Hadouken, that means this is a ranged weapon. Gura's main weapon is a melee weapon. There's multi-shot ranged weapons as well. If you make a collab, I believe the collab has both of those weapon types. I didn't get any of the items that it matters for, and you know, different characters have different skills that make them matter. But so like my Jinki-Suki-Kan is a melee multi-shot ranged weapon. So if I had Ninja Headband, which affects melee, and Focus Glasses, which affects multi-shot, it would affect them both. You get both the buffs. So that's like one way you could plan your collab layout, is sort of in preparation to get all the buffs for your items. But typically you just want weapons and items that are just good on their own. Alright, so here we're at the 20-minute mark, and the boss is going to come, and it is Hollow Myth. So my strat here is generally to just run away. Kiara is much faster than the rest of them, and and she will just run out, and it's much easier to solo her. Gura also like charges at you, so depending on when and how you move, you can get Gura alone and just get a bunch of damage in. Ame will ground pound every once in a while. It's like aimed at you, but if you're moving, you'll avoid it. So Ame also has a way to just sort of teleport to you, and the other two just like run around. So I'm just kind of trying to avoid the ones that stay put and kill a couple of them, and then once I get a couple down, it's a little bit easier to kill one or two of them. If I were to just charge in and take on all 5 at once, I would just die. Or be much more likely to die, at least. Bosses in this game are no joke. They also shoot bullets, so if you're like on top of them, they'll just point blank shotgun blast you with all their bullets, and that is not a good time. Alright, so this gold anvil's here. It means I can collab the idle song and the glow stick, but I don't want that collab. I want to save it for something else, so I don't have to take that gold anvil. I can just wait. I would get a little bit more power if I collabed, but my most power I can get will end up being later. And these 2 boxes are the last 2 boxes we're gonna see, because we got past the boss, so that means there's not. I don't think there's any more mini bosses. Greed stamp. So this will make more coins appear. I can afford to do this for a little bit. My main goal was to get at least past the boss. So if I were to do a stage mode, once I beat the boss, it would just kick me out regardless of how well I'm doing and how much I want to keep playing. With endless mode, you get to keep playing a little bit and show off more of the game. And I thought it'd be more fun to show off more of the game rather than less. So. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going, see how far we can get. While it is endless mode, there is a point where the game just gets way harder, way too fast for you to keep up. So, unit stamp is one of the stamps that I really want, especially with how I've built this character. So yeah, in my submission run I got to 34 minutes. In some of my runs lately I've been getting to 38 minutes, a little bit farther. We're not going to be here for an hour. In-game time an hour. It's just not feasible. Very unlikely to have, maybe I get the best RNG anyone's ever gotten and my dodge skill just activates. Okay, this is the stamp, collector stamp, I guess. So this makes more stamps appear, so I'm gonna equip that and level it up until I get the other 2 stamps that I'm looking for. I might want to get rid of my I want to get rid of the greed stamp because the stamp doesn't add any extra power or help for survivability, so I might be a little weaker than I usually am. might be a good idea to not be as greedy. Let's actually take the unit stamp. I want this one anyway. The trumpet. This trumpet plays trumpet noises. Might be hard to hear. And if you add to the trumpet stamp, it'll add more trumpet noises. That's kind of fun, but I'm gonna strengthen my unit. So the unit stamp makes your main weapon weaker, but all your other weapons stronger. And my main weapon's still at level 1, so my main weapon ain't doing anything. So unit stamp is a very good stamp for me right now. Max that out. Here's the rock hard stamp. I stand still. If I stand still, all my weapons will shoot faster, and my main weapon will deal a little bit more damage. That's very strong. I guess the big... Please get to the thing. The big problem with that is if I'm not able to keep up with these enemies, I will have to move eventually, and I will lose my extra damage. So, like, this works until it doesn't. And then it goes really bad. Like, you might notice these red lines appearing every once in a while. Those are like the bullet indicators, part of like the stage events. The reason I didn't do stage 4 hard is stage 4 has lightning that spawns, and it'll just be a small, somewhat small circle, and then like half a second later, the lightning bolt will come down and deal like 70 damage. I started with like a little bit, 100 I think. So it can, if you've, you know, been damaged at all by enemies, you can basically get one shot until very late in the game. So that's why we didn't do stage 4 hard. It's just you can be on an amazing run and then you just die. And there's like if you're in the middle of the lightning bolt when it spawns, if you haven't taken any speed upgrades, which you don't get early on, you will get hit. There's like, even if you're moving, it just goes too fast for you to actually dodge it, like fully react to it. So I want to get my snow sake. So this weapon is going to freeze enemies, which slows them down, makes the rush a little bit more manageable, which is all we want with Dura is time. If I grab one of these boxes now, it'll give me a new weapon at random, but if it's not the one I want, I'm not going to take it, so I'm just going to wait for a level up. Now I can start eliminating things that I don't like. Get rid of sausage, reroll. We're looking for potato. I'm going to take attack up. So I can only use one eliminate per menu. So I'm just going to keep eliminating the weapons that I don't want until I get the ones that I do. Good chance to swap the lifesteal stamp. The girl wants to heal. Her wants to heal, so a stamp that heals you. And it's gonna be good. We're gonna like it. Alright, so I do want curse, but not now. Well, we got potato also. potato. I'm gonna take potatoes from here just because I can't. I'm not gonna get enough anvils to fully level up all my weapons, so I'm just gonna have to take some and we'll level up. It will affect our end game, but no, it is necessary. If I die without leveling up all my weapons, it's like worse than if I level up all my weapons and get a bunch of anvils later, and then I'm like, oh, I could have used these anvils more efficiently. Alright, so we're just trying to grind here, gain some levels. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. This game is available on Steam, totally free. It is a really fun game. Despite what it may look like, it is pretty easy to get into. These are all... Where's my gold in? It's pretty easy to get into. Like the first level without Hololive doesn't look anything like this. It's much more manageable. So if you're like, oh, I could never do this, just, you know. This stage without Hololive is actually very easy to understand what's going on the screen at all times. It's just adding the Hololive to it makes it way more intense. Rap Dog is the X Potato is a Coronet reference. Coronet singing her idol song is Rap Dog, and Curse is the last weapon out. So I'm gonna take Curse over HP, maybe a mistake. I really just want the right weapon. With this build, the Picky Pimon gives you more attack for your HP, so increasing your HP also, you know, it helps with your tankiness, and also just makes you deal more damage. It's like the perfect stat. So you take HP over basically any stat, but if I didn't take Curse, there's a chance that I don't see it the next time the menu pops up. I'm gonna sell this, because we have all the stuff we want. So yeah, there's a chance that I get like 4 weapons, and none of them is Curse, and I have to take a weapon. If you run out of rerolls, you have to take something. I had enough rerolls left, but it was probably fine. I'm gonna eliminate this Curse. We got 2 more levels to go. We'll see 2 more anvils before I die, hopefully. Famous last words as the Yagus start approaching. Yeah, we have reached the kill screen, as the dev calls it. Nothing but Yagus from here on out, so we are just trying to... I heard an ant. We're just trying to... survive now. I should probably be taking speed. I think I want this pacifist stamp, my last stamp. So, like I say, we're gonna try to stay still to use this this EXP magnet. Use this rock hard stamp as much as we can, but eventually we're just gonna have to move. So I want another good stamp nearby, so when I'm forced to move, I can just grab it and run. Let me just swap this in. This is level 1. I can do this. We're barely gaining on the damage output. We are gaining on it. We don't have much to do now. We're just like looking for anvils and whirlpools. And trying to get the right RNG for our stats. Also pick them. We will have to eventually run around to grab this EXP. Gonna wait for my special. I don't even have the rock hard stamps. I don't actually have my standing still. Yeah, another way you can do this is just sort of run around. We're gonna eventually. What's a stamp? Nice. Stamps that you've put other stamps into sell for more, so better to sell those and use the weak stamps to combine. We're gonna eventually switch to doing this. Now, rock hard stamp. It's easier to get EXP if you just stay in one place. It seemed a little unintuitive, but the more I run around, the more different places I'm going to kill the enemies, and the more the EXP is going to be spread out. Whereas if I stay here, all the enemies come to this one spot, and all the EXP is nearby. Trident. So we'll have to move to grab it. It's all close. If I have a weapon at full level and I upgrade it, it will add extra damage to it. This is typically weaker than leveling up like one of your regular weapons, so. That's why I've been using my anvils for other things. Just want to show that off. It's like, eventually, you'll have nothing to do with anvils because all your weapons will be maxed out, so. That's how you use them in that spot. But the like level you get saved from stats is worth more. Like, any of the stat upgrades is worth more damage than using an anvil to level up, so it's why we do it like that. It's getting a little. Let's see. I'm just gonna grab these stamps if I can find them. Right. Like this. I might switch back to that stamp. There's like a couple good stamp layouts. There we go. There's something in here. It's kind of just hard to see the screen now because these are so opaque. You can actually lower the enemy opacity in the menu. Like a ton of good options. Attack opacity. Maybe it's just the attack opacity. I like can't see because there's too much stuff. Do this and. A little easier. It's really the Yakuza. The big thing to worry about here is if I get stuck on like a bench, that, or a barrel, or a table, I can die very easily. Keep running into this. Some enemies. I'm gonna make my attacks stronger. Typically you want all your stamps to go to your main weapon, or all your stamps to go to your other weapons. And split on them. So I'm like not really using the life gain stamp here, so maybe. Fortunately, I left myself without my main attack being strong, so I can't really get a ton of life gain anyway. Okay. Eliminated too close to the sun, but we're still in it. I can pick up that stamp and move it. I can drop a stamp somewhere else so I won't keep running into this one. But I have to go without a stamp for a little bit. So, kind of a tough sell right now. Please go around. Already done better than my submission video. Hope to survive a little longer. Worth noting that I used up my Raven Feather. I'd be like twice as strong. Wait, have I used up my Raven Feather? I have. Yeah, it still says 35. Alright, so when I die the first time, I will revive and I will not be strong. I'll be whatever 35 times 6% is less attack. Do the math. Kinda predisposed right now. I'll be much weaker, so I'm gonna die, revive, and then I'll basically just die again. Like, I won't be able to handle it with a huge boost on my attack. Just gonna end without the boost on my attack and grab some cheeseburgers. Just some, maybe more cheeseburgers will spawn in the middle. Don't get stuck, please. Okay, so see, I've revived. I'm gonna be much weaker. My attack's down to 300%. Wait, I had like 500 before. Levels do get less frequent as you level up because the EXP gap widens and it's just harder to collect the experience. It's like designed that way, so like if you could level up faster than they can kill you, like you would just live forever and it would be less interesting. Doing pretty good, considering I used up my revive. Sell the rock art stamps without running into it all, you crap. It's so annoying. It's just like in the worst place. And there's like a small, brain lag between, if I hold buttons during menus, it like affects the menu, so I don't want to be holding the button I'm supposed to run mid-menu. so sometimes it's actually like you could die because you touched a stamp. And you were like not trying to touch a stamp, you know? Our special. It's really nice if the freeze from your snowflower sake, like sometimes enemies come from the sides and they like heading you off. If freeze gets one of those and you just get like free passage. It really helps, and it's, you know, entirely luck based. Got another special. I got stuck on this. Pumpkins in the middle of the stage. Always get you. Alright, 39 minutes, 10 seconds. That's a new daily best. First place for today. No, second place? We got. Who am I? I do. Who runs today? I'm so confused. Alright. Anyway, that has been Holocure. Save the fans. That one run where I died kind of threw my confidence, but that other one was pretty good. I don't know. What to do? Alright, that's gonna be it for me today on the stream, at least. So in 5 hours I'll be live on Fangame Marathon. Yeah, I'll link to that. I could host them, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. If you guys want to go there, that's fine. But this will all be in 5 hours doing this run. Hopefully it goes well. That's gonna be it for me. I'm going to rest my voice, rest my computer, and get ready.